This is Jay Dobbins, your host of the Marvel DC Universe Fan Club. We are now at episode 120, and I'll be discussing two topics. One, Joker movie starring Jared Leto, reportedly in the works as yet another DC Comics spinoff. And the second topic um, will be rumors that Warner Brothers DC Comics movie plans for um, Comic Con 2018. So I'm going to start with topic number one, which will, of course, will be brief, as the Joker movie starring Jared Leto reportedly in the works as yet another DC Comics spinoff. So, Warner Brothers, um, well, and of course DC Comics, the DC Comics movie universe, just got a little more complicated with reports indicating that Jared Leto's maniacal version of the Joker is getting his own standalone film set in the same universe as Justice League. So, according to a Hollywood Reporter, Leto's version of the infamous Batman villain, which debuted in the 2016 film Suicide Squad, is in talks to give the character more depth in a film all his own, of course. It would be a spin-off to the previous movie and take place in the extended the DC Extended Universe, of course, or the DCEU for shorts, which always plays home to Man of Steel, Batman vs. Superman, Wonder Woman, and of course more. Suicide Squad, directed by David Ayer, grossed $746 million, but was panned by critics in large part because Leto's character was used to hype the film, but his final role was considered by many to be a glorified cameo. To further complicate matters, Variety reports that Warner Brothers previously announced it will be making another Suicide Squad spinoff by giving Margot Robbie's Harley Quinn character her own movie with Birds of Prey. Additionally, it also tapped Joaquin Phoenix to star in a origin story for the Joker. This means that the critically maligned Suicide Squad will now have roughly 3 spin-offs in addition to a planned Wonder Woman sequel and Aquaman standalone film, a Suicide Squad sequel, and the upcoming introduction of Shazam. So it's unknown at this time. It's unknown at this time when Warner Brothers and DC's film release timeline, any of these movies will take place, of course. So, let alone the DCEU canonical timeline, of course. So, that concludes this topic. So we'll probably talk more about that later, maybe. So let's talk about their next topic, which is the rumor that Warner Brothers DC Comics movie plans for Comic-Con 2018. So it sounds like Warner Brothers may be bringing some big big DC film news this year to this year's San Diego Comic-Con, including the first trailer for Aquaman, the first look at Shazam, and teasers for the Wonder Woman sequel, the Batman, and more upcoming projects from the DC Extended Universe. So, self-described writer at Daniel RBK on Twitter reports that he has heard that Warner Brothers will be bringing the Aquaman trailer to Comic-Con, along with a full panel for the film, as well as a teaser for Shazam and the first look at villain Cheetah in the Wonder Woman sequel. So he's also heard that Ben Affleck and Matthew Reeves will appear on stage together in a show of solidarity over the next Batman movie, and that Warner Brothers will reveal an updated official film slate for the DC Extended Universe. So Daniel does caution that we shall all take this with a grain of salt for whatever that is, for that is worth, of course. So plans for the event, as big as San Diego Comic-Con, are often in flux until very close to the day of the event itself. So even if this itinerary of reveals is true now, it may not be true by the time Comic-Con actually comes around. So bringing an Aquaman trailer at Comic-Con makes a lot of sense. Its next film on the DC schedule, and will only be about 6 months away from release when Comic-Con takes place. So, similarly, some early promotional materials for Shazam are already appearing. So it makes sense to present an official first look at Comic-Con for what will be the next DC Extended Universe, or the DCEU for shorts, film, and of course, after Aquaman. So, there have been some rumblings about the Wonder Woman sequel recently, as DC Films, J.F. Johns and director Patty Jenkins have both teased the WW84 logo. So, following up with more information and the first look at Cheetah at Comic-Con seems like a logical next step. So, but as for Ben Affleck and Reeves coming out in support of the Batman, it seems possible, as Warner Brothers has often made a moment having important figure in the DCEU's future appear on stage together at Comic-Con. So, such as having the trinity of Affleck, Henry Cavill, and Gal Gadot on stage ahead of Batman vs. Superman: Dawn of Justice, and those three joined by the rest of the Justice League at the Comic-Con before the Justice League movie's release. So it's also reasonable to assume that DC Films' new management has had time to take stock of Justice League's disappointing box office and formulate a strategy. But in my opinion, I was not very disappointed at the Justice League movie. So there were critics that were. So, but they call it the disappointing box office, but I'm not calling it that. So, I mean, we're all entitled to our own opinions, but not facts. So, but yeah, I'm just going on the record to say I was not disappointed by that. So, but yeah, anyway, coming out with a strong. So, what the heck? But yeah, so I just wanted to say that, coming out with a strong, I just lost my train of thought. Sorry. There we go. But yeah, sorry. Coming out with a strong showing of upcoming releases makes sense. And that's especially with so many films such as Flashpoint, Cyborg, and Green Lantern Corps seemingly floating in development limbo at the moment. So So what do you think about, what do you think Warner Brothers will show at this year's Comic Con? So, um, but yeah, say, like, if I post this on Facebook, feel free to comment on it. So, anyway, that concludes this episode, of course. Feel free to visit us, like us on Facebook. We are available on iTunes and the Google Play Music app.